hello. Welcome to the evening stream. Obviously, we had a stream in the morning during daytime when there was a Champions League draw. We have talked about all that. We have talked about the hype and everything surrounding it in terms of who Arsenal is facing, who Arsenal could play if they get past, obviously, PSV and everything in those terms. It's one of the Madrid teams, and let's not look further than that at the moment. But obviously, the action doesn't stop. In less than 24 hours, Arsenal face West Ham in the game in Premier League. Basically, a very big game. It's very important week, you could argue, also in the title race in general, solely for the reason that basically during the week Liverpool played against Aston Villa. They drew. It was 2-2, so the gap between us and Liverpool is 8 points. Now, this weekend, Arsenal play, of course, West Ham. We all know that. We obviously, that's why we are here. And of course, on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken, the game is on Sunday. Liverpool have a game as well, and not a very pretty game in terms of who they have to face. Let's just put it that way, because they are traveling to Manchester. More specifically, they are going to play Manchester City at the Etihad. Very important game in terms of title race, in terms of Arsenal, and in terms of our title hopes. Currently, of course, main thing Arsenal need to do is take the advantage of the situation that if Arsenal beat basically West Ham, there is only 5-point gap. And then it's up to Liverpool but what they're going to do against Manchester City, of course. For Manchester City, pretty much everything is gone to some extent. They have to play for top 4 at the end of the day. If they win the league from now, it's gonna be everyone should just pack their bags and basically resign from the league, let's be real. But it's gonna be a very important game no matter what. So we're gonna talk about all that. Let's be real, we're gonna talk about the title race, Arsenal versus West Ham preview at the London Stadium tomorrow. So if you like the stream, caress it, smash it, destroy it with a hammer, with a thumb, whatever, however, just do it. Takes only a second, costs nothing, helps the stream a lot in general. And of course, subscribe if you're new around here, and leave your thoughts down in the live chat so we can talk about them, tackle them, and do everything that comes, of course, with that. Now, first things first, what we're going to talk about is some news regarding the game. Then we're going to get into interview with obviously the pre-match press conference, and then we're going to do the starting 11 and all that good stuff, of course, as always. So what we're going to kick things off, obviously, is the latest news about West Ham and the team they could be putting out. More specifically, we're going to talk about injuries and players who are not available to them for tomorrow's game. And pretty much Graham Potter apparently has revealed that West Ham will be without few key players tomorrow when Arsenal go to play against them in London Stadium. Lucas Paqueta picked up a very recent injury during the week in training, so he's out. Vladimir Tufal, he's out as well, which is arguably very good for Arsenal. Crescencio Somerville is out, of course, as well. Nicholas, which is one of the most important things, is the fact that Nicholas Fulkrug and Mikel Antonio both are out. 2 strikers are out, which means that you could argue they don't have actually an out-and-out striker to put up there unless they put Jared Bowen up top. Basically, that is the big thing. And that is very good news for Arsenal, because dealing against those guys obviously wouldn't be the easiest thing to do. And to be honest, if we look in the West Ham squad in general, if we look at them, right, most likely Fabianski or Areola is going to be in goal, one of the two. Backlines and everything, but I'm more importantly focusing on the striker situation. Because striker situation is one of the places where Arsenal struggle, and now and 2 important injuries have happened at West Ham as well, with Antonio and Fulkrug being out. So they have loaned in, of course, Evan Ferguson, which is very interesting because Ferguson was available on loan. Arsenal didn't explore the option to sign him, obviously, because they didn't want to waste money, apparently, and everything, because, well, let's be real, Arsenal don't need a striker, right? But anyhow, they might, of course, most likely will play Evan Ferguson or Danny Ings up top. Maybe Jared Bowen, but I think Jared Bowen is gonna be on the wing because they're struggling for wingers as well in general. So everything is up in the air, everything's under question marks, and obviously nobody knows how that's gonna look like, but it's opportunistic situation for Arsenal given the injuries they have, because most of the injuries are in the attacking department. Besides Tofal, mostly the attackers, of course, are out. So Time will tell how that's gonna look, but it's for Arsenal very good because William Saliba, Gabriel, and everyone will have maybe a bit easier job in that regard. So those news are actually very positive for Arsenal in that regard. Not good for, let's be real, not good for West Ham, of course, and for Graham Parr, because basically their main attackers are out. Let's be real. Besides Jared Bowen, I would say that Paqueta, Somerville, and Fulkrug / Antonio both all are very important and arguably the most important attackers they have in the team, and they're all out. So that is good for Arsenal, not good for West Ham, obviously. So hopefully we can take advantage of that, because it's a very big game tomorrow, and we must take the best we can from the advantage and the situation that has arisen, given the fact that Liverpool just drew against Aston Villa, and we have a chance to close the gap just to 3 points, basically 5 points. Sorry, that's what it is. So Arsenal have a very big job tomorrow on their hands, and obviously everyone, including myself, is expecting an Arsenal win. I'm not gonna cap that I think Arsenal might draw or something. I'm expecting an Arsenal win. Basically, that's what I am talking about here. The biggest issue with that is, of course, last year, of course, we played against them as well, and Arsenal lost 2-0. So that is the big worry. Of course, Arsenal this year, different team, well, you could argue the same team. Obviously, Ranieri and Skelly are different players, but attack hasn't been refreshed whatsoever for the last 2.5 years, I would say. And yeah, but different mentality, different solutions, so hopefully we can do something there. It's also been confirmed that Craig Pawson will be the main referee for the game. Just putting it out there just because it's in the news. And Peter Banks is gonna be on the VAR. So basically, we'll see what's gonna happen with that, whether that's gonna affect the team or not, because let's be real, if it would be Michael Oliver, everyone would be kicking their toys at the pram. It would be nuts. It would be utter chaos, if that makes any sense. However, there are some other news, and this is the big thing. Obviously, it comes from Fikayas. So Fikayas, as we all have established, is a yellow page place. Let's be real. It's like the Sun of football, if you talk from English point of view. But apparently, Arsenal are ready to make an offer about 60 million euros, which comes to like 54 million pounds, to sign the 18-year-old Endrick from Real Madrid this summer. Obviously, I think it's a hoax story. I don't think Arsenal are going to go for that type of a player. But, well, you never know. Weirder things have happened in football, so I guess it is what it is. Big up Marlon, big up Van Persie got lucky. I wouldn't say he got lucky. He got Inter Milan, then he could face Bayern Munich, so it's not, or Bayer Leverkusen. It's not going to be easy for him. Let's just put it that way. It's not going to be easy for him anyways. But Endrick to Arsenal. Like, putting this up to you a question. If you had a chance to sign Endrick, would you sign Endrick? That is the biggest thing, Endrick. I'm not sure I would, actually. Endrick would be a bit of a rough one. He's only 18, which there is a lot of potential in that regard. 14 games in La Liga, 1 goal, 1 assist doesn't fill you with confidence. He doesn't start for them at all as well. Obviously, starting ahead of Mbappe, Vinicius, or Rodrigo is obviously one of the hardest sus in the world you can have. In Champions League, 6 games, 1 goal. In Copa del Rey is not that bad, 3 games, 3 goals. But otherwise, yeah. Endrick, I'm not sure. He's 18, he's unproven and everything. And the way I see this, does this feel like a phase 5, phase 6, phase 2098, 5.6 multiplied by pi type of signing? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Endrick. I'm not sure about Endrick. And if I was Endrick, I wouldn't actually want to leave Real Madrid. Only on loan as well. I would if I would be forced to decide to leave Real Madrid, it would be on loan. I wouldn't be actually moving, and this doesn't strike me as an Arsenal level of a signing. 55 million pounds for Endrick, I'm not sure it's it. I'm genuinely not sure that would be it. Obviously, he's a very big talent and everything, but again, it means he will need time to develop, to grow, to basically get better, to improve, and everything. He needs a proper management, proper coaching and everything. And not sure, as weird as it sounds, that Arsenal would be the best place for him to relocate to in general. Genuinely not sure. Let's just put it that way. In other news regarding Arsenal more specifically, It's been confirmed by Marco Silva and Fulham that Reece Nelson could miss the remainder of the season after getting a hamstring surgery, which is not great news. We talked about this a few days ago. He's had surgery, he's on a hamstring, and again, he is out. He's out on loan currently, of course, at Fulham. 100 grand a week, his season is over, it looks that way. The big question is, Arsenal probably were basically counting on him being one of the players they could and would sell during summer. And with him being injured, it again raises more questions than answers what's going to happen with him, because it more looks like that he's going to stay here unless he manages to recover in time, manages to recover, let's just say, till midsummer, and we have time to sell him. But again, it doesn't feel, again, with confidence that Arsenal will be able to do the job. And on top of that, Arsenal still don't have a sporting director, which is also one of the biggest issues even to start and do any types of businesses. And the rumors and talks about Arsenal actually signing a sporting director have gone very, very quiet these days. We get linked on occasion with the players. We have talked about this during streams after the transfer window specifically. But overall, we talk about signing players, selling players, loaning players out, loaning players in. But everything starts with the sporting director, and since Edu has taken leave of absence, he's leaving the club and everything. Starting next season, he's going to work for Marianakis, managing 3 clubs at the same time, including Nottingham Forest and including Nottingham Forest and including, of course, Olympiacos. It's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen, and obviously as well, Edu has already advised, apparently, Nottingham Forest to try and sign Mohamed Salah, not Mohamed Salah, I'm talking about Salah Mohand from Arsenal's academy to their team. So it's a bit of a rough one, it's a bit of a worrying one, so time only will tell, of course. Endrick and Guller are both ballers, man, they just need some game time. That's the big thing, they need some game time, but as I said, for me, for Arsenal specifically as well, trophies and everything is on win-now basis. And signing players like, for example, Arda Güler is a bit different story, I'm not gonna lie, but signing Endrick specifically, it's a big, big, big risk. And I don't think it's the best way we can spend £55 million. That's the biggest thing for me here. I much rather spend £55 million on a proven striker, on a proven left winger or something like that, than rather risk it for the biscuit. He gets called also the mini Pele and everything. So it's a bit of a hype thing as well going around him. He doesn't start for Real Madrid, at least in La Liga, and to be honest, rightly so. And if I think about who he could even play for in terms of Arsenal instead of who, even as a starter, there are not that many options. Obviously, Arsenal have Carabao Cup, FA Cup, early stages, maybe even Champions League next year to some extent, where Arsenal could basically play him, and even in Premier League as a sub. But overall, to rely on him on a consistent basis for Arsenal to get goals, get assists, to actually create something, I don't think it would be the right decision. And as I said before all this, it's a win-now basis. It's a win-now basis, and for me, signing another project player doesn't strike me as a very big and smart move at this stage. Genuinely doesn't fill me with confidence. Doesn't fill me with confidence. Yeah, Reece is out for the rest of the season. Reece apparently is out till the end of the season, and it's also undetermined when he fully is gonna be back. Yeah, we can't. Endrick, striker, left wing, Güler, Cam, right wing, left. That's the thing. If we signed Arda Güler, I would be more enthusiastic and I would be actually happy because he actually is a proper baller. Endrick, again, as I said, raises more questions than gives answers currently. Plus, he watched Bobby Charlton at the time. Remember that quote from him, so that already is a bit out there. Dude, Valverde at Arsenal, what I wouldn't give to get that guy at Arsenal. He can play center mid, he can play right back, he can play right wing to a certain extent. He would be the ideal Swiss Army knife type of player, which obviously I'm not a big fan of in many positions, but Arteta seems to adore. Federico Valverde at Arsenal, that would be to some extent a certain level of a dream, if you ask me. But obviously, for Arsenal signing him, it would be about 150 million, so I don't think that would be the case as well. To be honest, I don't think he would want to relocate himself even if that was the case. Big up Kwame, big up my guy, hope you're doing well. I'm doing fantastically well. We did an early stream in the morning about UCL draw and everything. We were doing this live. We were talking about this. So if you want more, get more of my thoughts and even Nathan's and Peppermint thoughts on that. And we discussed it on the earlier stream in the morning. About this situation, you can go and watch that. I might actually make maybe this that stream in maybe a small video and just post it at some point, maybe tomorrow, maybe day after tomorrow, who knows, of course. And 3 points against West Ham is a must. Obviously it's a must against West Ham tomorrow. It's a must, no excuses. We must take the advantage of the situation that Liverpool drew against Aston Villa at Villa Park. That's basically what it is. Plus, on Sunday, a day after Arsenal's game, they play against Man City. So that's another big opportunity for them, and in terms of, from Arsenal's perspective, for them to drop points. So Arsenal need to make the best of this situation. And obviously, then comes the midweek game against Nottingham Forest, which it's gonna be a rough one. It's gonna be a tough one, and Arsenal also must win that game to very high standard as well. There are no excuses for Arsenal to actually win the title, in my opinion, and to be actually properly in the title race. Must go on an 8 to 10 game winning streak in hopes that Liverpool actually drop points. Besides that, I don't think anything can happen. Ben White is back after. Yeah, Ben White is finally back. He's in full team training as well. So tomorrow, whether he's gonna start, whether he's gonna be on the bench, remains to be seen. Obviously, after the Dubai trip and being a bit more relaxed, maybe Timber is still gonna play because he's in better form. But I think Ben White, if he doesn't start, most likely is gonna get subbed on. Yeah, Mbappe's hat-trick, that was nuts. That was actually fantastic. Yeah, he's our back. Well, don't jinx it, right? Just don't jinx it. Let's just put it that way. Don't jinx it. Our defense actually has been quite fantastic because out of 22 goals we have conceded this season in Premier League, 13 have come from open play, so a bit more than a half, and the rest of the 9 have come basically from set-piece situations. Who is going to score tomorrow? Oh, bloody hell. For Arsenal? For Arsenal or for West Ham, who is going to score tomorrow? For Arsenal, I think Ethan is going to score tomorrow. Wanyeri. And I think Wanyeri is going to score. Obviously, depending on what. And to be honest, I'm not going to lie. I will basically go on a limb here. As much as I'm not the biggest fan of Odegaard, I think he will score. I'm gonna go on a limb here saying that Odegaard will score tomorrow as well. I'm not saying that 2-0 is my prediction. We're gonna get to that at the end of the stream. But for me, Wanyeri is gonna score tomorrow and Odegaard is gonna score tomorrow. 2 of the goal scorers. Curious to see if Merino can do it again. I don't know. And I'm not sure even Merino is gonna play there. Obviously, when he got asked after the game, if he's gonna play striker again, he said he has no idea. He has never played there. I think Arteta during Dubai trip definitely coached him to be at striker there during the Dubai trip, and in general, Merino has been training at striker position a bit more. But whether it's going to happen or not still remains to be seen. Obviously, I think it depends on the situation and what the scoreline is. If we are like 3-0 up, for example, I don't think Merino is going to be substituted at striker whatsoever. He's going to be substituted in the midfield, basically. Yeah, maybe Odegaard. For me, I'm going out on a limb and saying that Odegaard is going to score tomorrow, and also Wanyeri is going to score tomorrow. But that's not my final prediction. Watch Merino go on a purple patch. Oh, bloody hell. It would be like Kai Havertz last year. If he remembers, he can shoot again. Well, true. That's the thing. If Odegaard remembers how to shoot, and if he actually can put some power into his shots, because it feels like he has a pillow foot or something like that, like it's actually nuts. My 6-year-old can hit a ball harder than that, the way he is shooting the ball. So it's actually kind of embarrassing, to be honest. And when he has a proper chance to shoot, he tends to sky it as well. So it's kind of a rough thing. I'm not gonna lie in that regard. But some interesting comments have come from Arsene Wenger. Remember Arsene Wenger, the Mr. Arsenal himself to some extent. He has spoken on Ethan Wanyeri. He's more of a creator through his final ball, his dribbling and quality of his passing. Fabregas was very strong mentally, but this boy looks as well. And when I look at him, his maturity, it's difficult for me to think that he's only 17 years old. I'm not gonna lie, a very big praise from Arsene Wenger. Very big praise from Arsene Wenger, because For me personally, and I'm putting the Arsenal cap off and saying this not biased at all, if Arsene Wenger rates a young talent 99.9% of the time, 100% he's spot on. Because no matter how many trophies he won at Arsenal, which is actually quite decent amount, but only Premier Leagues and everything, no Champions League, despite everything, right? His talent ID always was spot on. Always, pretty much. The young players especially. Obviously didn't work with, for example, Takuma Asano or someone like that. But predominantly looking at Vieira, Thierry Henry, and everyone and stuff like that, it has always been on point. So when he speaks about young players very highly, it's definitely something huge. In his prime, he'll learn from the best. As long as he doesn't learn from him using only one foot. The greatest Arsenal manager ever. For me, it's between him and George Graham, one of the two, basically. Yeah, exactly. He doesn't act like a 17-year-old. Same goes for Miles Lewis Skelly as well. Ranieri is 17, Skelly is 18, but feels like for example, Ranieri is like 22, 23, like Skelly is about 25 or something like that. They are actually very, very, very mature for their age, which is, I'm not gonna lie, a big rarity these days in world football, because most of the players at that age still care about Instagram, TikTok bullshit and stuff like that. They act like kids as a child, very, very, very inappropriate and everything, very inexperienced for their age, even in football. But those two are very, very mature, to some extent, but I wouldn't compare him to Yamal. My lineup for West Ham is Raya, White, Saliba, Gabi, Ranieri. Partey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You missed Miles Lewis Skelly, Kwame. You missed a left back there. And who is Sabila? Sabila, dude. Why, everybody? Because, let's be real, Yamal is the big topic no matter how you look at it. He's the hot prospect of the century, what it feels of this decade, 100%. I'm not gonna say century, but of this decade. He has taken world by storm. He's one of the main guys in one of the biggest clubs in the world. He's one of the main guys in one of the biggest national teams in the world, if not the main guy. He's carrying the team to a very big extent as well. So, let's be real. If you watch Barcelona, first person you want to watch is Lamine Yamal. He's a very big attraction in that regard. For Arsenal, currently, the biggest attraction to a big extent is Ranieri, obviously. So that's why he, to some extent, gets compared. But he is nowhere near as good as Yamal. Maybe in some decisions he's making, he is better. But overall, for the overall package, Yamal is miles clear. Obviously, he has more experience on senior level. He is more technically gifted and everything, but you get what I mean. Oh, for Kwame, it's Wenger. I get it. No, I get that. I'm not hating. That's for everyone to decide. That for me, I totally get that. For some people, he's overrated. For some, he's where he should be. The biggest thing for me with Yamal is two things. First thing, if he can avoid injuries, because for a 17-year-old, he's playing way too many games at that age. Way too many. And the second one is, will he develop even more? Because there are many youngsters who hit their peak very early and then they stay the same level through the rest of the career. There are very many amount of players who peak at the right time, and there are very many players who peak late in their careers. And the big question about Yamal is whether his peak is right now or he is gonna get even 2-3 times better than he is right now. That is the big question for me with Yamal. Those two things, injuries and if he can improve even more. Wenger, because every year we lost our best player. Dude, don't remind me. Raya, Gabriel, Kiwi or fuck me. Calafiori, White, Merino. Merino, Odegaard, Rice, Ranieri, Sago Jr. and Oyedeji. Dude, you are genuinely it feels that lineup. You would put that lineup out against like Birmingham in Championship. Not West Ham, I'm not gonna lie. But I get it. You want to see more youngsters and I totally respect you for that. I totally respect that. Yep, doing well. Yeah, Correction, Calafiori at left back. Yes, Kelly should be resting 100%, but given the fact that we don't play at the moment as often, it's the big thing. Personally, how I would do this most likely is I would play Skelly now. Calafiori, although I don't know, Skelly, who is better, Skelly or Calafiori for the game against against Nottingham Forest? Because we play obviously on Wednesday against Villa, against Elanga he will play. So that is the big question for me. He's going to. I get that. I'm not saying he's not good. He's just. I get it. Don't direct this to me. For me, he's very, very good. He's one of the, as much as weird as it sounds at 17, for the ability he possesses, one of the best wingers in the world currently. Yes, he doesn't have trophies to his name to back it up and everything, but for me, he is. No idea. I don't watch under 21s, unfortunately. That for me is the big issue. Is Calafiori ever get back into the team? That is also the thing. That is a big question because I can get him getting into the team and everything, but Calafiori last summer was Mikel Arteta's and Arsenal's marquee signing, no matter how you look at it. And basically he got few injuries, and now an 18-year-old from the academy is outshining him pretty much every single game, as wild as it sounds. At the same time, you cannot deny that Calafiori arguably has scored some of the most important goals we needed to score this season. You can also put it that way. So it's a bit of an interesting one. I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit of an interesting one. I want to see. I get that. I get that. I totally get that you want to see more youth. But the biggest thing about this is there is time and place for this. Whether you like it or not, as much as I still believe that Arsenal not gonna win the Premier League, if we win tomorrow, we increase the chances of winning the league. If we by game week, let's just say 32, 33, the gap is 2 points, then we can start having discussions that Arsenal can win the league. But at the moment, for me, Arsenal need to yield out the best 11. If by game week 30, 32, no chance that we're going to win the league, then you can play the youth. Because top 4 is pretty much a guarantee. Let's be real. So it's basically very circumstantial. Yeah, you say that, but do you think Arteta is going to do that? I don't think so. I genuinely don't think Arteta is going to change formations. I genuinely don't think so. That is the big drawback to all of this, by the way. That is the big drawback to all of this, in my opinion. Anything new, anything different we can talk about? Any news regarding Arsenal? Skelly and Merino in training. Gabriel. Ben White in training, as we just talked about. Calafiori. This is a... What is this picture? I'm sorry, but this looks a bit sus, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna take it off the screen because before terms of service of YouTube or something kicks in. I'm not gonna lie. Luis Zetsevich John. Anyone seen this guy play? Why is he training with the first team? Why is he training with the first team? Why is he training with the first team? Because I have no idea how good he is. Because in the first team, from what I have seen, usually the players that actually could play train. Or will play, like Dauman, Vanieri, Skelly. I haven't seen Kabi or Oyedeji, but that is the case. That for me is the big question. What is happening with this guy? Is he actually good, or is he actually some average guy? Because if you are watching under 21s or something like that, please let me know. Genuinely, please let me know, because I have no idea who he is or how good he is. Luis Zečević John. He's Serbian, English Serbian. 17 years old. He is... What he is? He's a right winger. Oh, fuck's sake. He's a right winger. 7 goals, 2 assists in under 18. 7 games, 2 goals, 3 assists in under 18s. FA Youth Cup, 3 games, 1 goal. And UEFA Youth Cup, he played 1 game as a sub. I guess. So, nothing special, I guess, in that regard. Nothing special. He's played for Serbia under 16 team, 1 game. Phenomenal. Who is he? Genuinely. Insert the Conor McGregor meme. Who the F is that guy? Basically, that's what I'm on right now. Who the F is this guy? Yeah, who is he? Pepper. See, Pepper doesn't even know as well. First Havertz kissing Saka picture. Now this, exactly. What? This is the nuts picture. This is the big thing. We have Nuno Tavares lip-sync the dogs, and then players kiss each other. Now one takes other one from behind. Pause. Right wing back, so that's 5 at the back, so no chance. We should bring 4-4-2. We should, but yeah. Yeah, exactly. Who the fuck is that guy? Yeah, definitely. We should play 4-4-2. I totally get that. Because Trossard in a 2-striker formation, for me, is the most effective you can imagine him. For me personally, at least, in 2-striker formation. Because that's what he played at PSG, and you could argue, besides Villa, that could be his best game to some extent. Right? So, it is what it is. Mikel's Funhouse. Gabriel's face there is saying, pause Will. Dude, pause Willy. Dude, that comment alone, pause Willy. I'm not shocking you talk about Saliba or the other Willy. This is going out of hand. This is getting out of hand. Pepper, you genuinely walked straight into that one. This sus crap, man. They'll think you're gonna... Dude. That is the big issue here. Big up, Nally. Big up. How you doing today? How are you doing today? You feeling great? All good? All it's Friday, so you should be feeling today. You should be feeling fine. It's Friday, then it's Saturday, Sunday, what? And everything. Anyhow. Codeman music. Everyone's ready for this madness? What's about to unfold before your eyes, or what? Codeman music is about to unfold before your eyes. Haven't had this one in a while. Yeah, Pano, I get. He genuinely is. Remember Arteta said that he conquered his wife. Zinchenko and Ben White are swapping wives and everything. It's all over the place, I'm not gonna lie. I know it's not man's first language, but some of the things he says, it's sometimes genuinely quite nuts, to say the least. Exactly. Conman music. Waffle settings. Get your syrup. I hope you're hungry. Let's do this. Let's do this. Just over 24 hours before sending his team out to face West Ham United at Emirates Stadium on... Oh yeah, at Emirates. We play at Emirates. I, in the beginning of the stream, said we're gonna play at London. Sorry, and we are playing at Emirates. My bad. In front of the media, Sobriety Training Center, the chat about the game. On team news for Saturday, no real news to be fair. The ones that are long-term remain not available. The rest, no news. So basically, everyone's available. Pepper, what do you think? Oh. On if Ben White will ready to start, he's ready to play, so he is not ready to start apparently. Whether to start or not, the decision we'll make tomorrow, but he's certainly available now to be part of the group. So that kind of, if you can trust Arteta, which is obviously a very vague thing, let's be real, most likely he's gonna not start him, Timber is gonna start. On being drawn against PSV in the Champions League, we've played against a team that are a really good team. What the fucking hell? We know that. They have experienced it, and it will be very difficult, like any other Champions League result that we could have got, or any team. So we know that we are facing. When you are at this stage, every team is really good, and when the time comes, we'll be ready for it. Well, you better deliver on these statements, you know. You better deliver. Big up. Fantastic to hear that you're feeling good. Fantastic. I think it's what I would sound. I agree with your alarm. No, Kwame wants Calafiori at left back. Give Miles Lewis-Skelly a rest. He's back. He is here to. I generally believe that Timber is gonna start, and if everything's going very well, White is gonna come on around 65th, 60th minute. Since he's been out with a surgery, I think he is gonna give him some time, basically to get some time in his legs, basically, some running in his legs, and then maybe at some point he will start. He will start maybe against Nottingham Forest, maybe against PSV, which would be kind of mad. On closing the gap to 5 points if we beat West Ham, we have to do our job, and it's going to be a tough one tomorrow against West Ham. If we do that, we'll be looking at the game on Sunday. With 13 games to go, there's still a lot to play for, and you can see how difficult it is for everybody to win football matches, so we need to be there. Well, on if he'll be glued to Man City versus Liverpool on Sunday. I'm glued to tomorrow's game. That's what I'm glued to, and my focus is just there. To be honest, something for a change I would like to hear, but that again sounds like PR. If he can relax watching those games. Relax? No, especially when you are playing with these teams, you obviously cannot relax. I relax watching games that don't interfere with our ability to win big trophies. Oh, frickin' hell. Or Tierney, oh, this P crosses. Yeah, Tierney would be nice to see play as well. Genuinely would be nice to see Tierney play at left back as well. I would be happy. Yeah, Calafiori, I'm not sure against West Ham, against Bowen. We'll see how that goes. When the moon hits your eye, like a big pizza pie, Calafiori. Tierney left wing. Maybe in 70th minute we actually gonna see that. We might actually see that. Genuinely, kid you not. We actually might see that around 70th minute. On what experiences we can draw from previous title races, that the margins are so small and everything counts. We are talking about fine margins, oh bloody hell. We had numbers that in any other Premier League title race probably could have won it. To be honest, in the last about 5 years, no. We didn't saw that that's a level of difficulties, but the fact that experience, it really helps because now, if he's given Mikel Merino more notice about his position, no, not to him or to other players, especially because I want the players, when they are on the pitch, they're feeling that they're doing and taking initiative. I don't want players thinking, what if tomorrow I have to do certain things? That's why I did it. I see. To be honest, that also kind of falls in line with the fact that Merino said that he found out that he will be playing at striker only in the morning when the game was taking place. I kind of get that. So the player actually focuses on being a midfielder, although that's actually kind of wrong as well, because player kind of focuses for him being a midfielder and then you sub him as a striker. It's a bit of a weird one. That's like me going to a job, focused to my work, and then my boss tells me, well, you're gonna be in my place today. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Anyways, on if playing Merino up front was an experiment that paid off. If something that we haven't done or he hasn't done in his career to try is called an experiment, and that's it. Okay, what? In the end, it's trying to be fit the qualities and that we have within the squad, within the players. Well, we want to deliver and the game requires and the position requires that we could be more, but blah, 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 blah. On if we have any young forwards that could come through to the first team. Oh, this is a good question. We have some of other players training with us now lately. They've been in our system for a while, but I've been very close and obviously we might have... They've been very close, but obviously we might have to use them. They look ready as well, which is a good thing. So we actually might see some of the youngsters actually play, potentially. Obviously, Arteta could be gaslighting us to some extent, so only time will tell. Well, we played PSV, third year in a row, by the way. We played them in Europa League, Champions League last year. We played them in Champions League again. This game, however, has lots more riding on it than other games before, so that will be a very different one. PSV are actually doing very well. From between Feyenoord and PSV, against PSV, we have bigger chances of going through. Although, if we go through after PSV, after the PSV game, we play either Atletico Madrid or Real Madrid. Holy crap, if I'm scared for those games, I'm not gonna lie. But it will be great thing to expect. It will be something great to look forward to if we get past PSV. You see, PSV is easy. We laid smackdown on them. That is true. I'm not taking that away. At the same time, we last year, when we played Bayern, we even had the hashtag Pray for Bayern from Top Gunners and Arteta Sexuals. You saw how that went. We got relegated by that Bayern. Worst Bayern team in the last 15 years, yet we had the best Arsenal team, allegedly in the last 15 years. So that went well. Are they gonna release this now a hashtag Pray for PSV or something like that? It's actually kinda nuts. Mikel is addicted to the process of winning the Premier. Pretty much bigger fish to fry. Remember that one last year as well? Bro thinks he's alright by saying this, guys. Exactly. We need to at least get. We need to get to finals. That's the mad part. The best, to be honest, if we go to against Madrid or anything, it's actually kind of nuts. The big thing is, can we win the Champions League this season? Well, depends. Genuinely depends. Let's get past PSV first. Let's just go it. Let's do it step by step. Let's say it as it is. Can we beat Real Madrid? We faced Real Madrid once in Champions League in 2006. Remember those days when Titi scored in Santiago Bernabeu? We won 1-0. First English team to beat Real Madrid at Bernabeu and everything. That was phenomenal. At home we played a 0-0 draw and we beat them over 2 legs and we went through. However, we have played only once against Atletico Madrid in Europe as well, and that was in Europa League in 2018. And we lost to them over 2 legs. If I have to look from today's perspective, can we beat Real Madrid? No chance in hell, in my opinion. I'm sorry, but no chance in hell. Can we beat Atletico Madrid? I don't think so as well. I'm not sure against who we have technically bigger chance to beat them, but I don't think we can actually beat any of those teams over 2 legs. Because at Emirates we could do fairly well, but playing at Bernabeu under the lights, I think we actually could crumble. We haven't had such pressure situation whatsoever. Because Real Madrid is not just a club, it's a legacy. It genuinely is a legacy. And obviously, not to mention the forward issues we are having in the team. Let's be real. Ducking the smoke. Exactly, he's ducking the smoke. Brentford 3-0 Leicester. Holy crap, 3-0. That's good. If we go to quarters, we will play. Exactly, I know that. By the way, I'm saying this right now. I discussed this in depth. Pepper was there in the morning stream when the draw was going live. We talked about this quite heavily in depth, by the way. If we get past PSV, sorry, I need to check my messages. It isn't a given that we will play Real Madrid. Look at the Real Madrid's last 5 games against Atletico. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Atletico Madrid versus Real Madrid in the last 5 games, right? There have been 3 draws and two wins and a win in extra time for each of the teams. So basically, Real Madrid have won in extra time, Atletico Madrid have won in extra time. And the last 3 most recent games have ended in a draw, by the way. So that is a very interesting situation happening there. Not sure how that is going to get resolved itself, but it's going to be nuts. Yeah, you don't have to go far. You're going to go to Club Brugge versus Aston Villa game? We are out in quarters whoever we get. Could be the case, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, to be honest, Leicester haven't won a game. Leicester have won 1 game in the last 8 or 9, so it's not a big surprise. We have a winning record against Madrid, we'll be fine, dude. If again I see on X, on Twitter, on YouTube, or Shorts, or TikTok, from these deluded gooners, the combined 11s, where basically like 70% of the Real Madrid and Arsenal combined 11 consists of Arsenal players, I generally gonna lose my shit. I'm not gonna lie, let's be real. Because last year when Igal did the combined 11, with putting Ben White over Carvajal, for example, I genuinely just... that was a painful watch. We need to defend Hearts, look down. Dude, it's gonna be nuts. I say we have 30% chance against Atletico and a 15% chance against Madrid. I could get behind that. For me, it solely depends what kind of system Diego Simeone is going to use. Because he either is going to basically play 5 at the back, and it's going to be hell enough for Arsenal, because we do essentially well against 5 at the backs. Sense the sarcasm, by the way. Or he's going to go more attacking like he has done recently in La Liga. It solely depends. One is more attacking, one is more defensive. I know, it doesn't mean nothing. Let's be real. I suggested that Arsenal should sign Simeone or Ancelotti. All of the top gooners, Arteta only fans, Arteta sexuals, and all these people on Twitter, on YouTube, said that they're washed, they're useless, they cannot do the job. Look what he did at Everton. Simeone hasn't won anything in the last 5 years and stuff like that. Dude, let's not even go there. Let's not get over there. I'm not gonna lie. Against Atletico, I think we have a 15% chance. Against Real Madrid, we have 5% chance. Yeah, Atletico, I would say, is a bigger of a chance for us to win. But it's also not a big chance. Let's just put it that way. We have a small chance against Atletico, but even... yeah, basically that's what it is. At the same time, this... I'm not saying we can't beat them, but we have to be there with the attacking like Real. We have to. The biggest issue for me is the attack. Let's be real. For me, the biggest issue is the attack. No matter how you look at things, it's the attack, and it's avoiding injuries until we get there. By the way, we are sitting here and talking about Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid like we have already beaten PSV. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, basically. Let's just not do that as well, because if we get too much ahead of ourselves, we may find ourselves basically, well, you get what I mean. Real or Bayern, even Juventus are a threat. Juventus are out. Feyenoord relegated Juventus. Guys, we don't have Henry Bergkamp. That's the biggest thing. We had proper winners and ballers in that team. We don't have any of those anymore, to some big extent. We don't have characters and winning mentality in the team as well, because we have won legitimately F all. So happy Brugge got to the last 16. Yeah, that was a positive. I didn't expect them to absolutely annihilate Atalanta. That is what I'm gonna say, because Belgian teams in the last 10-15 games they have played in Italy, they have pretty much lost every of them, if I'm not mistaken. And they absolutely annihilated Atalanta over 2 legs, which was a big shock for me, I'm not gonna lie. I think we have more than a 15% chance as Atletico. They have dropped some points in recent games. They have, but you know how Simeone does things. You know that in cups he is very resilient and he has different mentality in these cup games, and especially if it's Champions League. We have to be more attacking than Real, more defensive than Atleti. If we score 2 or 3 goals, we can't get cocky and under. Exactly. Even if we are 2-0 up against Real Madrid, more specifically, it means nothing. Especially if we even win 2-0 at home and we go to Bernabeu, it means nothing. It might as well be 0-0 if we go with that. I tell you what, Robo, if we win the Premier League title this season, the streets of London will... Oh, the streets of London and streets all across the world is gonna go wild. I think so. Don't be surprised that all teams play there in... Yeah. Real or Bayern, exactly. It doesn't matter, because either of the... How basically the draw went, either would have gone a team we can face few years, or we gonna... But it's nuts. I wanted a different team to face in Champions League, and if we get past PSV, we actually get the chance. Unfortunately, both of those chances are genuinely like having to go against a fight in the ring against Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali. Basically, that's what it feels like. If we get past PSV, we're gonna go in the ring like some random guy, and basically in front of us stand 2 mountains and legends of of people, like Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson, basically, and we are gonna go up against them. Remember 18-19, Ajax annihilated everyone, and Spurs. Yeah, Spurs, they lucked out. Genuinely, Lucas had the game of his life that season, that year. That was nuts. Who remember Schalke getting to the semi? Yeah. Villarreal under Emery got to the semi-finals after winning Europa League. Remember that in Champions League? We have to have the winning mentality. Exactly, but we haven't won anything. That's the big issue. Because it's one thing winning just games. Winning trophies is a completely different animal. I can speak that from experience. I'm not surprised by anything. Yeah, true, that is also the case. I'm not surprised because, let's be real, Lille beat Real Madrid in France as well. That also happened. In the streets of Islington, North London, it's gonna be all over the place. Ajax wasn't even known that well. Ajax have always been well known. Can City beat Liverpool? Well, we can only... To be honest, I'm not sure what is better. City winning or City against Liverpool being a draw. Because on one hand, obviously, we get closer to Liverpool. On the other hand, there's a big possibility City are getting closer to us. And it's like, we have to watch our backs as well. Let's put it that way. We have to focus on front, but we have to watch our backs as well. Let's just put it that way. Whole of zone 1 will be just, yeah. May have to have the hunger. Yeah, I think City will beat Liverpool. if that is the case, would be quite fantastic, I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, back to this, although because we have been yapping about everything and we will have no time for starting 11s and stuff like that, because we still need to do that, of course, as well. So time will only tell, let's just put it that way. Time will only tell. We have to be patient. We have to focus on 2 big competitions, and I hope it's not the bigger fish to fry. I accidentally captained Vanjeri on FPL. You have to pray now that he gets, let's just say, a goal and 3 assists or something, like, or 3 goals and assists or something like that. You have to basically pray for that now. How do you even accidentally captain Vanjeri on FPL? How does that even happen? Anyways, on if the injuries can be an opportunity for younger players. Yes, for sure, it can be. But at any moment, I spoke to them about this already for it. On this game allowing us to put more pressure on Liverpool, I see an opportunity for us to keep winning and keep making our journey to the goal that we want to end the season, which is to win it. Trust, believe. What is more important, guys? The destination or the journey, guys? That's basically what Arteta says. On if this could be a big weekend in the title race, I don't like ifs in football or sport. Well, this is the biggest hypocrisy he's talking about here, because he was talking about ifs, whats and buts and all that stuff 2 seasons ago when we didn't have a striker, and last season when we didn't have a striker and we stuck Havertz up top. So there's a massive hypocrisy in this. Let's do what we have to do, and that obviously is the thing. If he feels momentum is swinging our way, that's what we need, and that's a very important thing. When your energy and belief increases, holy crap, he speaks like a Buddhist monk or something. And the results are behind you, your performances are good, and everybody's having that. After that shift in energy and belief, I think anything can happen. Dude, I swear to God, he has some rose crystals at home that he basically keeps for good energies. I 100% can guarantee you that. It feels that way, at least. On if he is obsessed with winning the title. Oh, bloody hell, Arteta is obsessed now. We have heard that Arteta is obsessed with Nico Williams. That hasn't worked out. Arteta has been obsessed with about 10 players in his tenure here. He hasn't signed any of those, by the way. I'm obsessed with doing everything that I possibly can every single day to achieve it. That's my obsession. I'm very obsessed by the process of that one. It consumes my whole day. Well, bloody hell. Sounds kind of depressing in a way as well, I'm not gonna lie. I guarantee you that, but it's the process. Again, trust the process, guys, of who you get there. The natural outcome, I cannot control it. He loves to waffle, doesn't it? He waffles way too much. And if he has to adapt to his team talk to avoid complacency against West Ham, I don't think everybody is complacent. Whether it was a gamble to put Marina up front, every time you play a player, you're betting on that player. That kind of way is true as well, I'm not gonna lie. On if Bukayo Saka has had a holiday, he did go. Where he went is a question for him if he wants to answer that. Oh, I genuinely cannot believe this. On Raheem Sterling confidence, it's on to the next one, but Raheem is so experienced, and like many other players that we know, that what you did yesterday, whether it was really good or not, could be relevant to the next game or... it's just pure waffle and just BS on this case. And if he can have big impact, yes, and he needs to have it because we really need him. Well, that has put pressure on Raheem Sterling, hasn't it? That has definitely he's putting some pressure on Raheem. Ooh, I like to see that for a change. Genuinely love to see that for a change. On if the difference between starting and using Merino as a sub, nobody cares. On if Saka or Martinelli could be back for the Champions League games in March. I'm not sure, that's the question for the doctors. Oh, fucking hell. You get reports on one hand saying that they might be ready, then I'm gonna skip that. On what's been going on with Takehiro Tomiyasu, he's injured, he needs to get sold, end of discussion. On what the club can do to support him through this process, sell him. Okay, pause. Support him, get him better, and then sell him. On if the players have regained the sense that they can win the league. Yes, I don't know if we recovered or flicked the switch and said, okay, what's the opportunity now to do something again? Oh, for fuck's sake. And if it feels any different going up against Liverpool instead of City. We have been in different situations. Well, kinda, yeah. Sometimes we've been leading, sometimes at this stage we have been behind, and then we jumped a bit. Don't jump. Every year feels a little bit different. The ambition, the hope, the willingness, the energy is always there because the prize is so big. Energy, 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 energy. It's always about the energy, for fuck's sake. And if he talks to the players about what Liverpool can do compared to City did in the previous title races, because Man City have done it for 6 or 7 years. Well, they haven't technically. They haven't won it for 6 or 7 years. Hey, but it is what it is. But it's to be fair, Liverpool have been very consistent. Yeah, and if Sterling's struggling with his confidence, hopefully not. He doesn't even know. Bloody hell. And if Raheem seems happy in himself, I see a player who is experienced. He knows about the next action, and the next action, and the next action. Sadly, on the pitch, he has no action whatsoever. He's a failed stun double, basically. That's what it feels like. Apart from that, there is nothing else to live. To live? What the hell is that? He's doing everything he possibly can to make it work. Oh, for fuck's sake. That was waffle and a half, to say the least. I'm not gonna lie. If that was a waffle if I've ever heard one. I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, let's see what you're saying in the chat. In the first round, Brugge, yeah. I'm calling Brugge win versus Villa from Erling. Could be the case. But for captain, the 100% one is Big Gabby. Could be the case. Wednesday play again, you would spare players. Could be. It consumes my whole day too. Arteta only obsessed with Chelsea rejects, past City rejects, and outcast players. Stop making... Exactly. 3 points from the East Midlands against Nottingham Forest on Wednesday. That is a must as well. The match that is decided match that we must win, guys. We need win, guys. Guys, no draws. It will roar. Exactly. We need to win our games so that Liverpool slip up. Basically, what we need to do. We have 13 games left in Premier League. Basically, we need to win, I would say 10, draw 2, and lose 1 at worst. At worst, to have a chance at the league. Because let's not forget, we still have to play Liverpool at Anfield, and we haven't won there in 12 years, so that is the biggest worry for me. Imagine the pressure, by the way, on Arsenal specifically. If we go there, and it's, let's just say, 1.2 point gap. If we win, we go ahead of them. If we lose, we drop behind them, right? Even further, and we lose the league pretty much. Imagine the pressure, and we all know how good we are under the pressure, by the way. I know this is off topic, Robo, but in my FIFA career mode, Sago Jr. and Oyedeji are dominating with Arsenal in the first team. Fantastic. Big up. I do the same thing when I play EFC, FIFA, and the career modes. What I tend to do, by the way, and this sounds very mad, but bear with me here. Arsenal obviously have young players and have players out on loan. What I do is put them back, everyone at Arsenal. I basically put in free agency every single player besides players that are, let's just say, 19 or younger, and do like a road to glory type of career mode, only scouting players and starting from League 2 and then just working my way up to Premier League. That's what I do. That is one of my guilty pleasures, let's just put it that way. We need the players to put on their bell armor on and give sweat, blood, and tears to bring the style back to North London. Exactly. We deserve it. We definitely deserve it. After all the crap we've been through over the last, 22 years, 21 years, it's a must. Let's just put it that way. Bro lost his self-confidence, his morale, lost his page, dribbling, everything. Exactly. It feels like Sterling at Arsenal is like a failed stunt double. He can do things, but not good. Bringing the Premier League title back to North London for 21. That exactly is the case. Liverpool's schedule got even worse if they make it to semis. Second leg will be right before our game. That is the case if they get to semis. The big thing is, though, we can actually play them in the semis if we beat Real Madrid and then we progress through, don't we? Aren't we in the same bracket? If Liverpool beat PSG and then Villa or Bruges, they get into semi-finals. If Arsenal beat Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid in quarterfinals and we beat PSV, we actually could face them in the semi-finals. Okay, first of all, sounds wild that I'm even talking about beating Madrid's in the quarterfinals, first of all. But if we actually, by some goddamn miracle, 1 in a million chance, right, we beat them, we actually can face Liverpool in the semifinals of Champions League, can we? We are in the same side, aren't we? That actually would be kinda insane. And Chelsea, who will want to get the jump on us, get them back, and exactly. Every single London club will try their best to stop us from winning the title, let's be real. We need to have an unpredictable, dangerous prime Bayern level attack. Big issue, we don't have the level of the players for that. Are we beating the Madrids? No. Sadly, realistically speaking, no. But weirder things have happened in Champions League. For me, prime example, right, in this instance is Celtic versus Barcelona. Barcelona had 86% possession, insane amount of shots, passes and everything, yet Celtic won. That for me is the prime example. I ain't hating, I would never belittle a player, but Sterling, yep. For me, Forest away and Everton away will show if we can win this. Pretty much, yeah, because some of the games will be rough ones. It's February, you haven't scored since like November. That's if exactly. To be honest, Liverpool get to semi-finals if they beat PSG and if they beat in the next round Villa or Bruges, whoever they play. There are big ifs riding on that as well. Only way to make semis is to win on pens. Dude, imagine the scenes if we actually do it. I know it's copium and hopium and everything, but imagine. Our decider against Liverpool at Anfield is crucial. And we haven't won there in 12, 13 years, so yeah. And after that Liverpool game, by the way, we play Newcastle at home. And Newcastle are fighting for Champions League. We have played Newcastle 3 times this season. They have scored 5 against us, and we haven't scored against them at all. We barely have shots on target against them. Let's not forget that as well. Let's not forget that as well, by the way. Aston Villa beat Bayern years ago. Yeah, true. Years ago. That was actually in league stage. On the PSG Liverpool match that will be a nice game to watch. I think one of the hidden gems definitely will be Benfica versus Barcelona as well. I'm a solid believer in if you win at Goodison Park, you win the league. We all know how we do at Goodison Park, by the way. Will I might make it a far? I'm not gonna. Yeah, if they beat Bruges, they can actually even do it in semi-finals as well, in quarterfinals against PSG and even Liverpool. They can actually do it. Emery knows how to get these things done in cups. Goodison Park has been built. Yeah, it's gonna be. Real have Diaz, Guller, and Hendrick holding the bench. Yeah. They have some big players holding the bench as well. Proper players. Anyways, Arsenal versus West Ham. West Ham have some injury issues. Arsenal have as well. I think that Arsenal will put out this, by the way. I strongly believe that Arsenal will do this. That would be my back line. I think White is not fully ready to play full 90, so what I would do, I would put Ben White on around 60th minute for Timber. Calafiori should start because I want Miles Lewis-Skelly to get a rest and for him to play against Nottingham Forest as a starter. The midfield picks itself out I genuinely believe so, because we have to play Rice against West Ham. That is just a must. Unfortunately, we have to start also Odegaard to a certain extent. It's gonna be like this, innit? It's gonna be like this, innit? It most likely is gonna be like this. I strongly believe it's gonna be like this, and Merino is, if he goes to striker, only from the bench. We can beat West Ham. We must beat West Ham. There is no we can, we should, we could, and everything. If we want to league, every single game, pretty much from now till the end of the season, is a must win. Because then if you win every single game, it is what it is. Obviously, we shouldn't rely on that, given the season we have had just. But let's be real. If we win every single game now, it's a bit different. Anfield is the ultimate, exactly. I'm more saying that we must beat Forest and Everton before we discuss Anfield. Yeah, that is the case. Before Anfield being worthy to go to their house. Exactly. I'd say play Sterling center forward even just for first half. Don't want to see Trossard there. That for me is the big issue as well. I much rather see Trossard on the wing than through the middle. Trossard, I know people in my comments on videos and streams are even saying that Trossard should be playing down the middle. But for me personally, Trossard should be playing down the middle only if we play a two-striker formation. In a single striker formation as a striker, for me, sadly, it just does not work to the same amount. Let's just put it that way. We must earn the right to have an Anfield showdown by winning all of other games. Exactly. Basically, for us to win the league, I kind of feel like when we go to Anfield, we need to have either to be level points or ahead in ideal scenario, obviously, or we must be in a striking distance, so 2 points behind at worst, right? So that game has everything riding on it. If we win the game, every ball is in our court and it's our league to lose it. Let's be real. That is the case. But the big issue for me is the pressure, because we have seen Arsenal in the high pressure situations, and unfortunately, we fold under the big pressure situation. So that for me is a big issue in that regard, sadly. I'm not worried about Man U and Chelsea. Chelsea at home should be a win no matter what. Man United away, for me, is the big worry only because of history and the PTSD. Yes, we have had good results there. At the same time, no matter how bad United have been over the years, they somehow at Old Trafford always seem to do good against us. And we struggled even against them at home, let's be real. Yes, we beat them 2-0 at home, right? In the league. But from open play, we did nothing. Legitimately nothing. It was solely because of Gabriel and everyone on corners, we beat them. From open play in that game, at home against United, we had 0.6 XG. We did nothing. From corners, we had 1.3 XG. And cumulatively together, it was almost 2 XG. And that's what fans are saying. Oh, we had 2 XG, see, we did well. If you look actually deeper, no, we didn't. Because all those goals came from corners and all our most dangerous chances. We didn't do nothing from open play pretty much. And let's not forget we lost them in FA Cup. And now think about this. When was the last time we scored a corner as well? They also have dried up quite heavily. Yeah. They took us to penalties. We had a chance to win it. 3-1. What? I maybe misspoke. I'm thinking about another game. Have a nice weekend, Kwame. Big up for dropping by. Big up, my guy. We better buzz those bubbles. Exactly. But we play at Emirates, so there will be no bubbles. Oh, Marlon said, never mind. Sterling has more box presence than Trossard. To some extent, yeah. The issue for me with him is that we dive a lot. That is a big issue for me with Sterling. Benny Blanco, Saladin. I don't want youngsters. I know you want to see youngsters, but at the current stage, we cannot afford that. If by game week, let's just say 32, 33, we are not in the striking distance anymore, it's done. Then you can play them. Oh, it won't be easy, but I think we shithouse. Could be. At Forest and Everton, I foresee it. We still have to play Bournemouth at home, by the way. Let's not forget that. And Brentford at home as well. Let's not forget those two teams. You should be... we lost 3-1 to Man United last time at home, no matter how... Last time it wasn't 3-1. We lost to them in penalties. It ruined our tunnel home. Dude. Liverpool only play one game in March. Southampton. We play United and Chelsea. Damn, that sounds deep, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, that 3-1. Yeah, we lost the league. Yeah, Fulham as well. Oh, bloody hell, we still have to play Fulham. Oh, and Marco Silva has Arteta's number. Let's not forget that. Hell no, we can't lose, and we need to beat Bournemouth, and they have no... And to have any hope beating of them. But that's the biggest thing. it's it's not good enough for us even to win all the games. We need help. That is the worst part. And in football specifically, relying on other teams is pretty much trying to tell the time by basically coffee. By basically trying to tell your future by coffee. You drink your coffee, you see what everything, or tea leaves or something like that. You see what's being said there. You say, "Oh, I see a ladder and everything. Oh, you get a promotion, or you gonna get sacked." And go figure after that. Basically, that for me is the biggest issue there. There are too many question marks. That's why I'm very pissed off that Arsenal didn't sign a striker. Because if we had a striker, we would be on top of the table. And the league would be arguably in our hands. It would be ours to lose no matter how you look at it. Because if we kept winning, we would be winning it. And now we, despite the fact that we win all 13 games even, right, that are left in the league, we still need to rely on Liverpool losing. That is the big issue. Remember last season, Villa and Spurs threw their games versus City because of us. Dude, I don't believe in these conspiracies. I don't believe in these conspiracies. And to be honest, even if we are, even for me, that sounds like an excuse because Arsenal should be winning that league. We lost the league when we went 1-7 in December. When we drew against 10-man Fulham at home. When we lost 2-0 to West Ham at home. There we lost the league. We didn't lose the league because Spurs threw their games. We screwed ourselves over. Let's be real. As always, Arsenal have this ability to shoot themselves in the foot in the most important moments of the season. And that has been a very big issue for me. And it has happened over the years. Bye Bakayoko, good right winger, Saka, Manieri. 3 wingers would be kind of nice. Spurs themselves. Don't care what they admitted to. Don't care if they threw the game against City. Genuinely don't give a fuck. Sorry, but I genuinely don't give a fuck. Arsenal screwed the season up themselves. 1-7 in December? Does a team that goes for a title go 1-7 in December? Does a team lose to draw against Fulham at home? Draw against Fulham at home to 10-man Fulham? Lose to other teams as well, the teams they should be beating easily? That's just an excuse at the end of the day. Will arrested their main team in the City game. Well, it is what it is. Let them rest. Who cares? They do what they seem feasible. For me, it's just an excuse. There was no reason for Arteta to play Havertz as a number 8 against Villa at home when we lost 2-0. There was no reason. Play him up top. There was no reason to play him as an 8, for example. I've been saying that instead of wasting time on night. True. Yeah, Marlon has said that 100%. But, anyways, what do you think Merino as a striker? He's not a striker, first of all. We are in phase 5.5, basically, with Mikel Arteta, and we are relying for a number 6 to come to play for us as a striker. It's been done before, let's be real. Historically, teams sub on center backs, tall, 6'5" to score goals when they're losing at striker. I get that. But it shouldn't be a reoccurring thing. It should be an extra option, like a corner, like a set piece. But to play it so heavily and hype it so heavily like Arsenal fan base do, that corners, like Arsenal team specifically plays for corners now. When they genuinely, specifically want to get corners instead of create open play chances. For Arsenal fans to basically push the narrative that Merino should be our main number 9 till the end of the season. That is just disgusting to me. For me, it's an option to have, but it's not something you can rely upon long term during the season. Just how I see it. 3 good signings that could help us deeply. Yeah, could have. Cherky, Bakayoko, Keane. I could see that, definitely. Anyways, I'm going with my prediction, and it's gonna be 3-0. I think we're gonna win 3-0. That was my prediction. Whether it's gonna happen or not remains to be seen. Our defense has gotten better in the last few games, so I have a bit more confidence that we're gonna get a clean sheet. I'm not gonna lie. Earlier this stream, I said that Manieri is gonna score. I went on a limb saying that Odegaard is gonna score, and I think someone else will score. Who, I have no idea. I haven't put too much thought into it. But I'm going 3-0 Arsenal. Nally is saying 2-0 Arsenal. Pepper is also saying 2-0 Arsenal. So you can see, people who call me toxic and negative, I should go support Spurs and other teams like that. Screw you, first of all. Second of all, we're being positive right now. But you won't call this out. You're gonna call it when we're gonna basically criticize the actual things that need to be criticized. I think when Yeri will score twice. Dude, you're only saying that because you captained him in your FPL. Solely because of that. Let's be real. Why are our pen takers with no Saka? Who are? With no Saka, Jesus, and Odegaard took one. He missed it. Lol. But I don't even know who should be taking our penalties. I'm going through my team. Obviously, it's our team. It's obviously going to be Odegaard because Mikel Arteta deems it good enough. But for me, I would say, Declan Rice? Ranieri, maybe? I have nothing to say but never give up. Good luck, John Cena. Never give up. You can't see me. Dude, don't chat like you were not a top gunner 2 weeks ago. Don't chat to me. Game's the game. Exactly. Game's the game at the end of the day. Game is the game. That's what it is. I would think about Rice or Ranieri. Yeah, I haven't seen Ranieri take penalties as well. That's why I'm very reluctant about Ranieri as well. And again, extra pressure for a teenager. Whoa, happy days. Arsenal back in their element, aren't they? Ranieri for Pepper as well. Good chance Ranieri 2 goals. Yeah, could be the case. But anyways, guys, I think on that note, I'm gonna call it quits. 2 streams today. What if Sterling takes a pen versus PSV? Dude, don't put this in the universe. Why you say these things? Why do you even? Like, seriously. Anyways, I think on that note, I'm gonna end the stream. If you haven't already, smash the like button, subscribe, and do that all stuff. See you all tomorrow in the evening, of course, 8 p.m. UK time. Unfortunately, morning streams have stopped because my vacation is coming to an end and I need to spend some extra time doing some chores and everything to get some things taken care of. So it is what it is. See you all tomorrow, 8 p.m. after Arsenal game a bit later on. We're gonna discuss it. We're gonna hopefully in a very good mood. Have a good weekend, you too. Big up Nally, big up Nat. Have a great weekend. Enjoy, stay safe, and hopefully Arsenal make us happy tomorrow.